So she was 10 years old and you protect them fucking all!
They're only bullies!
I'm disappointed in Europe.
Je vous ai demandé de rester là-bas, vous voulez pas rester là-bas. Donc vous restez là-bas. Restez là-bas.
Listen to how scared she is. He runs off.
I can't imagine being in a train locked with somebody that I can't escape. That is the most horrifying feeling a woman can experience.
He runs off. A Brazilian tourist was subjugated to a vicious sexual assault on a French train on Wednesday morning and only escaped being thanks to the intervention of a brave woman who filmed the asylum to scare him off. That's the black woman you see. Well done to her. Jordana, 26, had been visiting her brother in Paris. She got on a train, very quickly emptied after a stop, leaving her alone in the carriage with her Arab attacker. He walked towards me without speaking. I was panicking. I stood up, then he pushed me, still without a word. I tried to escape, but he pulled down my pants. It's clear he was trying to rape me. The attacker attempted to kiss her, biting her on the lip when she refused. He then slapped her, grabbed her buttocks and breasts before choking her to stop her from screaming. He choked me to silence me. That's when I felt I had no more strength, she said. Thankfully, a brave woman caught the man in the act and began filming him, demanding that he stay put and wait for the authorities. Her brother said, as Brazilians, we would never have believed that something like this could have happened here. We are told that France is a highly developed country.
And it's not they don't believe it can't happen in a developed country. They're just surprised it's happened during the day. Like it's not even normal. Not even in Brazil.
We are told that France is a highly developed country. I can keep showing people videos like this because they are daily in Europe. The mainstream media hides it, you'll never see it from them, but videos like this come out daily in Europe, and all it is foreign men attacking women. That's what it is. At this stage now, you should only be voting for and supporting people with the courage to say, send these people home. They have no place here. If politicians don't have the balls to say that, if they keep lying to you about how immigration is great and how somehow these people benefit you, stop voting for them, stop supporting them. Only vote and support those willing to say remigration. These people should not be in Europe. They all have to go. If people aren't brave enough and don't have the courage to say that, they don't deserve your support.
And even if you believe that all men are doing it, I would say this. Not all men are calling all the colors. That makes it already unfair.
First Minister, on Friday I was with the Ethnic Youth Support Team in Swansea, and they were saying that they would like to have much more support going into schools and education venues in regards to trying to get communities to work together. And so in one school they had a white girl wearing a hijab, and she walked down the street and then she came back and she said how different she felt she'd been treated because she was just wearing one piece of headwear that was different to how she would usually dress. And I think these types of things would help children who've never been introduced to other communities or other ethnicities in their lives to try and understand how it is to live in those everyday experiences. So I was wondering if you were able to speak to them. I know they work closely with the Welsh Government in providing them with additional resource to go and do this in other schools across Wales to make sure that when we start at a young age, those potential problems may be alleviated.
By the same knowledge, you can also tell them, hey, dress like a traditional Christian. You might feel very comfortable with that. You came here, integrate. We gave you the option. Did the Irish do something so bad that you're gonna say you're on stolen land? It doesn't make any sense. And you know what's even more interesting? The fact if they try that, if they don't like that, is there going to be consequence? Maybe the other person that doesn't have to integrate, if they see that, would they understand that? I'm not sure, but the whole idea you want to make me pay taxes also to confirm this, that's one of the wildest things that I don't want to do.
city of Birmingham will not tolerate the disrespect of our Prophet, peace be upon him, and there will be outcomes from your actions. You will have repercussions for your actions. We have been trained from birth that we must defend the honor of our Prophet, and we will lay our life on the line.
Okay, you know the other argument is, but okay, so if you don't like it here, go to your own country.
But why would we do that when our forefathers were instrumental in rebuilding this country after World War II? It was our grandfathers who worked in the factories 20 hours. It was our grandfathers who came here and ran the infrastructure. It was our grandfathers who bought you the lovely curry, which is your national dish. So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I say, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
I did a little investigation and during World War II, what you're confirming in those industry that was not happening. Maybe in your own country you work with British people, but it wasn't in UK. So the idea that you claim something that never happened to justify you or the infrastructure of UK, you're not gonna lie to me like that.
So, get this figure. Nearly 1.9 million foreign citizens, effectively 2 million, are claiming benefits in Britain. Of course they are. Costing the government, well, let's rephrase it, costing us, the taxpayer, £10 billion last year alone.
Well, an extra 1.5 million foreign-born claimants have since obtained British citizenship. That's according to the Labour Force survey, meaning that 3.4 million benefit claimants are foreign-born.
So in other words, we're talking about people that are born in another country, living in UK, and the same category, but they got naturalized. How can such a huge percentage be on benefits?
Migrants become eligible for universal credit and other benefits only after obtaining indefinite leave to remain or refugee status. Remember, indefinite leave to remain is the big area which reform, so they're going to dramatically alter the rules.
Yes. Guy Dampier is a senior researcher at the Prosperity Institute. He joins us now. Guy, good morning. Thanks for joining us. These are extraordinary figures, but not only that, they could be an underestimate because the Labour Force survey is no longer seen as a particularly accurate piece of polling.
Good morning. Yes, unfortunately, 1.88 million is the headline figure, but it could actually be even higher. We don't properly know because, as you say, the statistics have not been that robust recently. There's been a lot of criticism of the LFS, especially in the Financial Times. So we could be looking at potentially over 2 million foreign nationals claiming some form of benefit, which obviously is an enormous amount of people and an enormous sum, and that burden is falling on the taxpayer.
And what benefit are they claiming primarily, Guy, and why are they claiming it?
So primarily they're claiming universal credit. So once you've got indefinite leave to remain, you've got access to that, and that's you can do it basically if you've got any issues financially, if you need any assistance. The problem there essentially is one of low-skilled migration, that we're bringing people in on work visas, and the work that they're doing is not terribly highly skilled, and so when they do get indefinite leave to remain after their 5 years of work, they are requiring assistance from the taxpayer.
I don't understand. If they're managing for those 5 years before they get indefinite leave to remain without benefits, why suddenly do we have to start giving them handouts?
Well, that's unfortunately the nature of indefinite leave to remain. It's a form of residency, and once you've got residency, you have access in the same way that a British citizen does. There's no real discrimination, which is one reason why the Conservatives and Reform have basically said that they will either significantly increase the amount of time before you get ILR, or in the case of Reform, just abolish the whole thing entirely.
So the Conservative, the right-wingers, the Reform, the middle ground, they want to change it. The left, they don't. They just don't care about you in this topic because they are on the moral high ground.
事故。そこからおよそ3ヶ月、突っ込んできたワゴン車は違法な白タクだった疑いがあるとして運転していた男が逮捕されました。警察の車から降りる際、こちらにちらりと目をやる男、パキスタン国籍で無職のアハメド・ミヤンガジ・イクラス容疑者23歳です。事故当日は無許可で自家用車に客を乗せて料金を取るいわゆる白タク行為の最中だったとみられ、東京浅草で外国人観光客5人を乗せるとおよそ150キロ離れた富士山5合目に向かっていました。
And because Japan is having this issue, that's why a prime minister is in power now, deciding, you know what, if you just commit a crime, you're gone.
私は外国人との穏やかな、お互いに思いやりを持って生きられる付き合い方はどうすればできるんか、一遍ゼロベースで考えるつもりです。毎年毎年、私たちと 文化や何もかもがあんまりにも、違う人たちをまとめて入れていくということ。この政策は、一旦考え直さなあきません。経済的な動機でやってきて難民を主張する人、きちんとお帰りをいただきます。また、不法滞在の人たちにも厳格に法律を守っていただきます。
The fact that somebody else says, I'm opening the door to you, but you have to abide by the laws that we abide by. How can that be a bad narrative? It just doesn't make any sense. Actually, every Western country is like, yo, we need to do the same thing.
I think that if you can play church bells, you can pray the call to prayer. We are as American as anyone else, and don't take any BS.
No, I disagree with this. Church bells and the call to prayer are not the same thing. For starters, church bells are simply auditory. When I say that, I mean sound only. It's purely instrumental tones, like there's no doctrine, there's no speech, no words.
A bell might ring maybe 30 seconds. A call to prayer, to be nice, might be 2 minutes, generally 5 to 7, but it's the same.
The bell doesn't declare a religious statement. It simply indicates something is happening. Also, the vast majority of churches aren't using church bells, and in most cases it's 1 to 2 days per week. And in many cases, like twice on Sunday. So maybe like 2 times a week, the bell is rung. That can change depending on context. But the Muslim call to prayer is 5 times per day, 7 days a week. And they are telling you God is the greatest. They're talking about Allah. And that call to prayer is saying there is no God but Allah.
Just like all the atheists, I don't want to hear another religion tell me why their God is the best God. I just want to be like, oh, it's 12 o'clock.
Watch this. See that guy there in the blue shirt? His name is Roger O'Gorman. He sent out tweets in 8 different languages, like what I showed yesterday on a video, in Somali, 8 different languages, asking people to come to Ireland, saying he'll give them a free house and free apartment within 4 months. After he sent those tweets, asylum applicants rose by over 400%.
I don't have to be a politician to understand that might happen, but then again, the only reason they would celebrate it is because there is no consequence for them.
Watch this video. This is far leftists last night when the news broke that a 10-year-old child was raped by an African asylum seeker. This is what they were doing. And they are all directly responsible for it. They all support it. They are champagne socialists who never have to deal with the consequences. They all make a lot of money. They'll never be in these poor working class areas that are being injected with foreigners, but they'll push it on those less fortunate, the lower class. See that guy there? He doesn't know the own gender of his child. Look at them all. Disgusting people. And this is them supporting Catherine Connolly. This is them last night after a 10-year-old child was by an African asylum seeker. This is what they were doing.
I don't have to be a politician to understand that might happen, but then again, the only reason they would celebrate it is because there is no consequence for them.
So I'm here at the protest at City West Hotel, where a migrant, an asylum seeker that was supposed to be deported, stayed in the country and raped a 10-year-old Irish girl that was in state care. And as you can see, things are massively kicking off here. There's probably well over 1,000 protesters. Unfortunately, this isn't the first crime we've seen like this, even in the last year or two. So things are really reaching a boiling point here. So I'm here at the protest at City West Hotel, where a migrant, an asylum seeker that was supposed to be...
And it's not like they don't want to deport the person. The problem is the person can appeal. Once appealed, it takes time. They have limited location, so they send these people to a hotel. Now, I'm not saying we don't have to be humanitarians. I'm just saying, stop immigrating too many people in your country and you don't have the capacity to handle the whole infrastructure.
So I really hope this isn't what I think it is. But me and my 3 housemates got registered letters in the post all at the same time. So I couldn't sleep last night, so I was in the queue for the post office before it opened this morning. I'm pretty sure this is a letter of eviction, like a letter of termination, and we haven't done anything wrong. I'm pretty sure this is going to say I need to leave the house that I'm renting. I'm nearly certain.
I'm not sharing this for sympathy. I'm sharing this because Mel Robinson said that no act of courage is without an act of vulnerability. I am not alone in this.
Unfortunately, there's so many others and families in the same position.
Does the government realise what they're doing to young people? Do they realise the implication of their actions? In what world is this good enough? Because it is absolutely not. We need change and we need it now. New rent laws for landlords? Thank you very much. This is the third one of these letters I've gotten in 4 years. It's not good enough. We need change. We need it now.
So I'm asking the people in power, what are you going to do to fix this problem, and when are we actually going to see change?
Why would they fix it if they're getting richer? If a huge mass of immigration is coming over, there's going to be a demand for a house. If you can't buy a house, oh my god, some people are not going to make any babies anymore. And guess what? They're not going to work as hard because they don't have any family. That's why they don't make any babies. So you're going to immigrate more people that do want to build a family and make the babies under certain condition. As long as you give them the money so they can survive. So those that don't want the babies and can't buy the houses, what they're gonna do? They're gonna keep working trying to survive, but you're gonna tax them more because somebody has to pay for something. And then guess what? You're gonna have lack of workers. You need more mass immigration. So in other words, the government just created a hole for themselves that they can't get out. But at the same time, they got way more people that would vote for them. Ta-ta! I don't think I'm smart. I just see a pattern.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush, hash, purple, skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, durlo, que ta verde, ta welcome.